You know you can't talk all that smack without Joe Cronin hearing you. You can't get away with it. You just can't do it. And we'll get into what I'm talking about in just a few. Guys, welcome to the Monday Night Raw review. It's youtube.com/Joe Cronin Show. It's joecroninshow.com live on Ustream and YouTube and Twitch and all over the place. And right now, I'm going to be joined by my co-host, Chris Tosevich. What's going on, buddy?
What's up?
I'm hanging in there. What are you doing?
I'm hanging in there as well. That makes two of us.
I don't know what that means, but... So, first off, let's get rid of the music and let's get this thing rolling here. How about, let's talk about what I think everybody would be talking about at this moment, that we got one hell of a match between Cesaro and John Cena, right?
Hell yeah. That was insane.
That was insane, man. That was like a pay-per-view, and I was pumped up. I gotta say, I'm sick tonight, so if I sound bizarre to everybody, I didn't even go to work today. I was sick. I feel terrible. Like, I am sick, and I lost my voice, but here we go. I'll just sound like, what's his face? Scott Farrell all night long, basically. So I'm going to rely on the callers tonight a little bit, but I'm also going to make the calls pretty quick. Well, let's start it off. We got a couple of them, but I'm going to pick the 205 to go first. What's up?
What's up?
What's up, man? Who is this?
This is Thomas, man. Love your show, man.
What's up, Thomas? I know I'm going to the calls really early here, right? But anyway, what'd you think of Raw, man? Did you see it, or I forget if you watch it live or not?
Yeah, I watched it live. I watched here and there, but, I mean, it's not as good as it was when I was younger. I can say that.
Well, that's for sure, especially if you're talking about the Attitude times, but...
Yeah.
What was on when you were younger?
I mean, I started watching late 99.
Okay, yeah. So you grew up right in the heat of the Attitude Era,
Right before the invasion.
See, I feel like I got a big payoff because I got to grow up with wrestling. You know what I mean? Back in the day, WrestleMania 3, 4, 5, all that stuff, and then it got better and better, and then it seemed to get bad for a while. Like, not bad, but kind of stale for a little while, and then it took this big shot of adrenaline in 1997, 96. And it just went up and up and up and up. And, man, what a payoff that was to see that happen, to see it expand like that. So I can see from your point of view, you've been spoiled most of the time you've been watching wrestling. So
Yeah, Ruthless Aggression era is my era, though. I mean, but you have to change it. You're going to have to change it for a new generation coming up. Because if you want real wrestling fans to show, you can't have this crap.
Well, I think they're gonna have to. I think they need to change something. I think something is coming, or at least something minor. I don't know, but I've been saying that for years. That, hey, can they just go back to get rid of this PG stuff and get rid of that? And they need to do something. And it just never seems to happen. Although it does feel like soon, if it doesn't, the crowd is gonna start to, you know what I mean, push like they did back in the WrestleMania 13 times.
Yeah, I don't even want PG. I just want good wrestling. That's all I want.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I feel the same way. Like, they could up it a little bit. But it is great when you get matches like Cesaro and Cena tonight, or the Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, that was 100% PG. That didn't need the Attitude Era, and that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. That I usually shit on Cena, but that roll up into the attitude adjustment was pretty nice.
Yeah, man. I just headphones up there. Turn your headphones.
He needed to do something to come to combat Cesaro's brute strength, because if Cesaro was going to show him up in the ring and Cena walk away with the victory. He needs to at least match his intensity, and that roll up into the AA was much better than just dropping a standard AA on him.
I can't wait. Batman in 2004. Watching live on YouTube. You know, I can't wait for Raw next week. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for elimination? And then the night after elimination chamber to be nuts on Raw. The 24th. February 24th. Raw is going to be nuts.
The week after that is Chicago.
Yeah, that Chicago crowd's going to eat them up.
Oh, man, I'll tell you what, everything that I've been disappointed at because of the Rumble. I'm now getting excited for again coming up.
Yeah, me too. But I mean,
Here come the answers.
I hope Michael's come back and super kicks CENA like you did to that bear the other day, because that sounded like it hurt.
Yeah, dude, I got him right in the chin. He got the upper hand for a little while, but what you didn't see off camera was I took care of business off camera. Don't worry about it. And the bear's not coming back. Anyways, thanks. Thanks for the call, man.
No problem, man.
Stick around.
Plug my YouTube channel. Look at my podcast.
Go for it. Yeah.
Everybody listen, you can go to Real Wrestling Talk on YouTube and just listen, man. Me and a couple of my buddies, we just do our podcast, we talk wrestling.
No, I'll go listen to you guys. That's cool. I listen to everything I can, and the more you can listen to, the more I just can't get enough of and wrestling. I listen all week, everybody.
I respect that, man. You have a good night, man.
All right, man. Take it easy.
All right.
Look at that. Got a free plug-in. Let's get into this Conan thing real quick. This Nick Foley thing before we have to talk about the elephant in the room. So,
Jesus.
So I made a video a few days back basically talking about Rey Mysterio. And one of the things that we're always talking about is how Rey's injured. You know, not that, and it's, it's disappointing because he keeps getting injured. Everybody's talking about Sin Cara and him. They both get injured off and on. And we wanted to see Sin Cara versus Rey at WrestleMania so many times. So now it's Hunico anyway. So, I mean, does it really matter? But the point is, I said something like, there's another joke that I used to make because I got sick of that damn intro video of the wrestlers being hurt, where John Cena
Don't
was.
try this at home video.
Yeah, don't try this at home. The WWE played at the beginning of all their DVDs. And it was like, John Cena was like, bones can get broken. Someone else said something too. And then, just out of nowhere, Rey Mysterio's like, I had surgery 5 times in my left knee. And like I did his voice. And, trying to bring, a little bit of positivity, humor. It's a little bit of a jab, I suppose, but it's really just,
It's add some color to what you're saying, so you're not just reading a news report.
What it is right, exactly. It's just like when we talked about Hulk Hogan. Listen, Hulk Hogan's one of my favorite guys of all time. And I talk about Hulk Hogan all the time, and we talk about him with his advertising is this and that. And I'd be like, well, you know something, dude. You know, I can't do it right now because my voice is just gone. But
it sounds more like Hogan now. It sounds like Hogan today when you do it.
Yeah, man.
With your sick voice.
I don't know what's going on. My tonsils, I feel terrible. I'm pretty sure I've got like a disease that we don't know about. But so I'm not making fun of everybody or a racial thing. But this guy on Twitter, Nick Foley, turned it into I'm like racist or something. And his name is Flawed Stone. So at Flawed Stone on Twitter. And his name on there is Nick Foley. But you can tweet him at Flawed Stone. FLAWEDSTONE. And he said, you know, you're a racist, basically. And you don't hear the racial undertones. And he tweeted at Conan. Because Conan has a radio gig that he does. And, of course, Conan's tight with Rey Mysterio and everything. So this guy, like, tweeted him, like, look what this guy's doing and saying all these things. And I don't know if the guy he took it out of context because I don't think he understands that, you know what I mean? It's a joke that I've been making for years about that goofy intro, don't try this at home video. So it's more of a poke at the video and how funny it is, you know what I mean? It comes off funny, you know what I mean? It's not supposed to. I mean, these are guys and they're getting hurt and stuff, but hey, that's what the video looked like. And, you know what I mean? I could see how it could be construed as, you know what I mean? I'm you know what I mean, saying shit about Rey Mysterio or whatever. But hey, that's not what it really was. But the whole thing is he called me a racist basically and said I had racial undertones and everything. But like I said, I make the same voice for Hogan. If I'm talking about McMahon, I'll do the Vince McMahon voice. Talk about Rey Mysterio, I'll do the Rey Mysterio's voice. You know what I mean? What am I gonna do? The white guy voice? You know, it's not what he fucking sounds like. What the fuck? So, but this guy.
I've had surgery 5 times in my left knee.
Yeah, right. Right, like a cracker, I would say it. So anyway, this guy tweeted at Conan like a million times. It was like, look at this guy, and then Conan tweeted at me like, hey, what the fuck, dude? Who are you? And then I was like, no, Conan, this guy's full of shit. This is what I'm telling you. It's not whatever.
You in the Tequila Sunrise?
No, that'd be cool though. But then Conan basically realized what was up, and then we talked a little bit, and it was cool. And I guess I guess the guy still was flipping out like, this is bullshit, Conan. I'm telling you, this guy's a racist or whatever. Go listen to his stuff and you'll realize that this is bullshit. You know what I mean? And Conan's like, get the fuck out of here, basically, to this guy. And the guy's still harping on it, trying to get attention. So Conan tweeted this guy because he tweeted at Conan. He goes, hey, you're burying yourself by co-signing this shit bird. So he basically said by, speaking up for me. And he said, but the truth comes out eventually. And then Conan said back to him, listen, dude, at Flawed Stone, listen, dude, if you got a problem with him, figure it out before I bury 8 inches. Before I bury 8 inches in your ass. Hashtag fuck out of here. Hashtag still in polarity. What the fuck? Yeah, oh my god. And that's what Conan said to him. So Conan finally
gonna make that guy scream Odelay.
Oh man, I just love Conan even more for this.
Where my dogs at? Where they at? Yo, let me speak on this. Orale! Arriba la raza! Yo, you gotta.
Remember when like white kids were doing that in every fucking middle school?
Arriba la raza!
Oh, that's awesome. Oh man. Oh, that's great. I can't believe that though, man. So he talked to Conan shit on. I didn't have to do anything. But anyway, so this guy said all this shit about me being a racist, and Conan basically said, "Get the fuck out of here," And on top of that, then basically what happened is Tommy C from a shot from the point. Got pissed off too, and I wasn't even recording this all the time. The Conan said this stuff, and he went off on his show. Tommy and he went nuts.
Let me tell you something. I want to sit there and complain about racism and point to my friend Joe, who has done nothing but support me, somebody he's never stood in front of, a veteran in a foreign country, and done absolutely everything he could for me. Well, maybe he just did it because I was white. Maybe that was it. A guy that has a biracial person on his show. A guy that would give his right arm for anybody to have a meal at night. Because that's the kind of compassion Joe Cronin has for people.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Yeah, exactly. He could have did to do anything for me. So I have a little tough time believing my friends are racist. And you know what's worse than racism? Perpetuating it. Fanning the flames of it. Sitting there and saying, there's a racial incident here, Conan, but there's not.
If anything, this guy did Joe a favor.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Who are you? Are you the Tawana Brawley of pro wrestling? Are you the Duke lacrosse team lawyer of pro wrestling?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. If racism is bad, pretending it's there, faking it is worse. And what you did, Mick Foley, who has to steal a name from a great wrestler to promote your wrestling journalism, shows what kind of man you
I
are.
like the writing of The Overtaker anyway better.
You're a punk and a bitch. And thanks for helping my friend out. But let me tell you something. I know journalists are worthless, whether they're in the political media part or they're in the sports media or definitely in the wrestling media. But you guys get dumped on all the time. Thanks for proving everybody right. You're a shitbag.
You know who else has a better writer? Adrian Macho Savage.
And Tommy was pissed, man. He's
Foley,
losing.
you're a shit bag, a piece of garbage. There's no. What's worse? I actually think pretending and trying to create a racial incident might be even worse than racism itself. You're a piece of shit.
I also prefer the writings of Andre the medium-sized
Honestly,
guy.
Nick, and I'm serious. I'm actually really pissed off. No Tommy C bullshit. No, hold on a second. I'm not even joking. I'm actually this mad. All right. I'm really. I've never been mad on the show for real. Let me tell you something, Nick. If I ever ran into you, I'd spit in your fucking face. Because you're the racist. You try to make a racial incident use my friend to promote your shit. My friend to promote your shit. You're the racist. You took advantage of Conan. You took advantage to try to promote yourself. Joe is running an entertainment show. He's like a Howard Stern. He's doing a shock jock pick like I am. You're a bitch. And if I ever see you, I'll spit in your fucking face.
Guys, that was Tommy from A Shot from the Point just losing it. Go check him out on A Shot from the Point.
Was he actually, hi guys, by the way, was he actually talking to the guy that wrote that wrote that Twitter comment or whatever?
Yeah, he was. He was talking to the guy that wrote the comment.
Yo, that's crazy.
He went nuts, man. He was pissed. Like I was laughing my ass off. He was like, "You're a piece of shit." Like I was laughing my ass off. I feel bad for Conan. You know, that's who I feel bad for because he's got he's got this guy up his ass, like tweeting him. You gotta see this what he's saying about Ray and this racist guy, whatever he's doing. And, how can you blame Conan for being like, what the fuck, and then going over and saying something to me? And now Conan's like, oh shit. Happens, so I feel bad for Conan that he had to listen to this shit for a whole week. He's got my
That's
people tweeting
awesome.
him. He's got
Yeah,
this
what
guy.
else is he doing?
Well, he does a podcast. He does a wrestling show, which I actually listened to. By the way, I went over it because he plugged it on Twitter to me.
Is it good?
Yeah, and I listened to it, and I was like, damn, man, I could listen to him talk. You know what I mean? So maybe at some point he'll come on here, and we'll get a call from him one day, and he can plug his show on here because I think it's worth listening to for sure. Anyway,
so I just want to talk about a couple stuff for.
Okay, we'll talk about a couple stuff. Let's go.
A couple stuff is good.
For one, my mother's in Jamaica and left me at my grandmother's house for a week. Luckily, my grandma loves me and she let me watch wrestling. So it was the first time I've watched Raw on TV in about 3 months, and it looked so HD to me. Like, it looked so wonderful.
Yeah, it looks so much
All right,
better.
but anyway, I had a lot of complaints about tonight. Tonight was like very glitchy, and like there was a lot of problems. Let me start in chronological order. Zeb Coulter told Biggie Langston that he was going to own him.
That was the best.
Yeah,
That was I cracked up at that. I looked right at Leah and I was like,
Hey, Joe.
"What the fuck is that? Is that somebody reporting for duty?"
It is lamb shit. Point to you, son of a bitch.
What's up, lamb shit? What's going on, man?
Nothing much. You notice those fans tonight? They were chanting, "Holy shit!"
I did notice that, lamb shit. I think I just lost you, lamb. But hey, thanks for the call. We'll get back to lamb and talk about what we talked about last week, because he was talking about his Kevin Nash predictions, and I told him he'd be at the Rumble. 619, you're on the air. I wonder who that is.
Yo, what up?
What's up, K-Dog? What's going on?
Told you I'd call you up.
Yeah, man, I'm glad you did. I just feel bad for you that you were like inundated on Twitter all week from this dude who was pissed.
Fuck that dickhead. Listen, I get motherfuckers like that all the time. You know what I'm saying? And originally just basically what happened is you kind of made a Mexican accent of Rey Mysterio, and then the guy was like, oh well, this guy's a racist, and so and I'm Latino, of course, and Ray's my boy.
Right.
And so I called, and so I tweeted you, and you explained your position. I'm just joking. I'm a longtime fan, and I understand that because on my podcast, I bust a lot of balls too. And I asked you to listen to it, and you liked it. Let me plug real quick the podcast, which is, can I do that?
Yeah, man, go for it. It's great. I listened to it all night the other night, by the way.
Yeah, it's M as in Mark L, MLW.com. And basically every week I'm on there with Kurt Bauer, who was a former writer for WWE, this other cat called MSL. And then we have other shows, one with Jim Cornette, which is insane. Jim Cornette just being himself and talking about anything and everything.
That's nuts.
Then another show. Awesome. We got a couple shows on there. And basically on my show, which is MLW show, we talk about, wrestling, but not just wrestling. We'll talk about sports, movies, politics, a little bit about everything, because there's so many wrestling shows out there that are just dedicated to wrestling, and a lot of wrestling fans have other likes. So we talk about a variety of shit, and it's unfiltered. Nobody's trying to get a job anywhere. Nobody's kissing ass, and I keep the motherfucker real.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Just listening to you was awesome, and Cornette too. I mean, everything I heard on there was good, and I suggest that people check it out. I mean, I hear a lot of shit, a lot of crap, but I'll tell you, man, that had me hooked all night. Anything with you and with Conan and Jim Cornette, and who's the guy who was hosting it with you? What was his name?
Yeah, Kurt Bauer. He used to be a writer for WWE, which is good because you get an insight. I only worked in WWE for a little while when I did the Max Moon character, and of course I got a lot of friends there. But he actually wrote and was a head writer and was really close to Vince, so it really lets you know what the inner workings are of WWE. And then they got another writer called Alex Greenfield, who was a head writer. He's also on MLW, and he's got a thing called the Writers Room, and he has people on like Jim Ross, and he's had a whole bunch of other bookers and writers, and they get into the intricacies of writing. and it's very interesting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's really cool, man. That's awesome. How's everything going with AAA there? What's up with that right now?
Nah, we're cool, man. Basically, because some motherfucker just called me. Well, what else does Conan have to do? And like I just sit at home and do nothing. Basically, I'm in Mexico in AAA promotion, which is a promotion I helped found it about 21 years ago. That's Reddy Guerrero and Rey Mysterio and Psychosis, and a lot of these guys got their start before they came to the United States. And we're still going strong down there. We're doing TV like every 2 weeks, and we do a big show every like 3 months. And now we're coming to the United States, which will probably be sometime in the summer with El Rey Network. Google it. It's basically a network that Robert Rodriguez, the director, do you know him?
Oh, yeah, Robert Rodriguez. Are you kidding me? That was great. I love Robert's stuff. I love his anything with zombies
so
and
Sin
Rodriguez.
City, Dusk Till Dawn, Mariachi, Desperado, Machete, and he's the guy that got, that gave the first start to Jessica de Alba, Danny Trejo, Banderas, a whole bunch of Latino artists in the United States, and he's going to have his own TV network. Basically, what happened is when Comcast bought NBC, now they just bought Time Warner, so you talk about Agalopoly, fucking...
Yeah, we're all going to get screwed because of that.
Excuse me?
We're all going to get screwed because of that, man.
Exactly.
Rate's going to go up.
But that's how it is. The big just fucking gobble up the small and we get fucked.
Right.
And so basically what happened was, so they wouldn't be deemed, a business too big to fail like the banks. They had to sell 4 networks to minority owners. One network was sold to Puff Daddy, the other one to Magic Johnson, the other one to Sean Penn, and then the last one, which is El Rey, to Robert Rodriguez. So one of the things they're going to do is they're going to do Lucha Libre, and the producer is going to be Mark Burnett, which is the guy that did the Survivor, Voice, Contender, Celebrity Apprentice, all those reality shows. He's like the godfather of reality shows. And so we got some high-powered people that are going to be behind this project. And basically the main thing, dude, is that, all the things that I hate about wrestling and probably that you hate about wrestling, all the stupid script, all the stupid skits that make you cringe and be embarrassed to even be a wrestling fan, all those stupid, useless diva matches, pie eating contests, all that bullshit.
Right.
Get away from all that. Get back to some fucking athleticism, to some good fucking storylines, and that's all you fucking need. And kind of reinvent wrestling. Wrestling's been produced and shown the same way for the last 20 years. And, one of the things is, they try to hit the Latino demographic. You've seen it in TNA.
Right.
You've seen it in WWE, right?
Oh, yeah. Yep, Alberto
But
Del
one of the
Rio's
main problems is that they have no Latino writers, they have no Latino producers, no Latino agents, and so you can't do anything for a Latino audience or even from a Latino point of view unless you actually have a Latino in there writing it. So, that's one of the things, this is going to be
Yeah,
excuse me?
Like Los,
or else you end up with Los Matadores or something like that when you have white people writing for a Latino audience.
Right, and they got 2 Puerto Ricans acting Mexicans when there's a million other Mexicans out there. Or I'll give you another example. They had have you ever seen the independent wrestler Ricochet?
I haven't seen him actually. No, I haven't. I've heard of him, but I haven't seen any matches.
All right, well, he's awesome. He's a lot like, have you ever seen the guy that's in NXT now, Adam Neville, that's Pac, that used to be Pac?
Right, I know him, okay.
Right, well, he's a lot like that, like really great high flyer.
Right.
And they were like, nah, well, he's too short, but we'll rather take this other guy, and I'm not going to say his name, but we'll rather take this other guy, this Mexican guy that actually spoke Spanish and English who wasn't as good as him because they're so starved for a Mexican star because in the United States, out of Cubans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, and all that, you put all the Latinos together, Mexicans are 60% of the Latino population, so it's a huge demographic, not to mention that, like in California where I live, 1 out of every 4 people is of Latino descent.
Right.
So the good thing have you ever seen Univision or
I've seen it because I used to install Dish Network, so I used to watch Telemundo all the time.
Yeah.
Right. Well, the shit's in Spanish. If you don't speak Spanish, you're kind of fucked.
Right.
The good thing about O'Reilly is it's going to be in English. So it's going to be for all those Latinos like myself or for like Robert Rodriguez's kid or Rey Mysterio's kids who grew up bilingual, and for people like yourself who speak English.
Right.
So that's going to be the cool thing about it.
Right, because most of the time, I mean, someone Latino or someone Spanish can speak both languages, but, you know what I mean, Americans, they only speak the one language, you know what I mean? They don't know what anything means, you know what I mean? Tiene sus papeles. They don't know what the hell anything means, you know what I mean? So,
right, and that's the problem with Telemundo and Univision. They just cater to Spanish-speaking people, and plus, a lot of their shows are super cheesy. So now you're going to have, you know, like somebody like Robert Rodriguez, who's done a great job of, you know, entering mainstream United States with his movies, and he understands the Latino and the American sensibilities, and they got a lot of cool shit going. It's called the Array Network, and you'll be hearing more about us coming up.
No, that's awesome. You know, that brings me back talking about, you know what I mean, the Spanish wrestlers and the Latino and everything. I remember I used to get so angry watching, well, it goes back to Chavo Guerrero. You remember that, Chris? I mean, years ago. I make ranting videos about him being underutilized. I remember being very angry about his WrestleMania match. I don't know, WrestleMania 27, 28, whatever it was. And even carried over to Epico and Primo, to their tag team matches, because I saw a couple house shows with them, and I seen plenty of stuff on TV where it's just, man, that was the best match of the night. It was Epico and Primo. When are they going to package them and push them and put them on Raw more? And then they do it, but they do it Los Matadores, and now they're Puerto Ricans playing. Like, it doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, and the thing is like, I wrestled both of those guys in Puerto Rico, you know, Eddie Colon and Orlando Colon. They're cousins, and they're, of course, brothers of Carly.
Yeah.
And at that time, I was feuding with Carly and, or what they call him here, Carlito, but in Puerto Rico, he's known as Carly.
Yeah.
Anyways, I wrestled those niggas, and, man, they can get off. They fucking, you know, they're awesome. And Eddie's awesome on the fucking mic in English. And that's how it is, man. That place is such full of bullshit. Look at, you know, I mean, CM Punk actually dipped. He said, fuck this place, and bounced. And, you know, I've heard a lot of people say that, including Jim Ross, who I respect a lot.
Right.
They're like, well, his contract was going to be up in July. You know, he should have respected his contract. You know what I think, bro? Fuck that. If the promotion isn't holding up their end of the bargain, they're fucking up your career, fuck them, quit, bounce. They have enough leverage on wrestlers as it is. There's no pension for us.
Right.
They fucking classify as independent contractors so they don't have to pay overtime and shit like that. Fuck them. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad he did. I'd be even happy if Daniel Bryan quit too. I'd like to see what they would do then.
Yeah, then you see some real shit go down. There's not much more to go until the fans, because you can hear it in the crowd. You can finally hear the pushback coming from the crowd, like the real pushback. I mean, coming from a good percentage of the crowd, not everybody. You know what I mean?
Right, because you know why? Because the fans are tired of saying, hey, we want this guy, and you're not doing shit with him. And, bro, you got to think about this. That blowback's been happening. It isn't really, if you think about it, the whole Bryan Daniel thing's been happening since 2 years ago when he lost with Sheamus in like 50-something seconds at WrestleMania.
Right.
That's really where it started, and it's just been building and building and building.
I'd even go back further than that to say it started when they fired him because he choked somebody with a tire.
You're right, because a lot of people wanted him back. You are right.
They wrote those letters, man, and then bam, then they buried him with Sheamus. You're right, and they thought it would be some exciting little pop for Sheamus or whatever, and what they don't understand is Sheamus is this big, goofy right now, this kind of the opposite of what we want. He's that big cartoon marketing to the kids. You know, I mean,
And then when CM Punk said, I'm breaking the fourth wall, he literally let the fans know that they could break the fourth wall, and if they cheer hard enough, they can change Vince McMahon's writing, like get CM Punk to win the title, you know?
Right, but that's not who they think should be a star. You know, and they look at Bryan Danielson, how short he is, and you know, and all this, and they look at CM Punk, and they make jokes about, you know, they've always been, you know, Hunter comes from that mentality. Because I remember hanging out with Nash and Hall and all them.
Yeah.
They always used to say, well, to be a star, motherfuckers want to have to be like you, and bitches want to have to fuck you, you know?
Right.
And then when guys like Mick Foley and all these other guys came around, that wasn't the look that they wanted. They were like, oh, well, wrestling fans don't know what they want. Well, yes, they do, motherfucker, because they're the ones buying the tickets. They're telling you who they want, and you're still turning your back on them.
Yeah, they're like confused by the whole thing. Which goes back to...
No, they're not confused.
No.
They just don't think that that's the you know, to them it's like, and I like Randy Orton as a person,
right,
and as a wrestler, and I think he's got a great look. I think his promos are one-dimensional, but it's like they think that, like with CENA, you know, the all-American fucking Marine, whatever the fuck he's supposed to be, rapper, whatever. You know, yeah, he's a company man. He's got a great look. And Orton has a great look, and all right, but not everybody has to look like that. Dude, I've been backstage in WWE, and every guy looks the same. They're all really fucking, what do you call this? You know, really cut up and thin and good looking, and all the bitches are hot. It looks like a casting call for Glee. They don't have anybody that looks different. You know?
Yeah, that's why I like ECW.
People,
ECW looked like it had real people off the streets, people who you would meet in your neighborhood, wrestling and fighting.
Right.
You didn't have to look
good
to be.
And
to
you know
rise
what?
up
And that's the. I'm sorry. And that's the thing with CM Punk and Daniel Bryan. Most of the people that you look in the crowd look like them. And of course, a lot of people would say, "Well, you don't want the wrestlers to look like fans." Well, dude, obviously the fans don't give a fuck about that anymore, you know?
Yeah.
And they can relate to Bryan Danielson. They can relate to a CM Punk.
I'm just surprised they haven't come around on this yet. If they aren't, you know what I mean? If they still have that mentality that they had then. I mean, I remember hearing about it because I went to Killer Kowalski's wrestling school 10 years ago, and I'll never forget them coming in and, you know, every once in a while after, wrestling with one of the guys that'd be training you, you know what I mean? Matt Heisen was there. I remember him talking about it. And then the guys would come in after and they would say the same thing, you know, Triple H, you know, the way they, you know what I mean, Triple H, these are the type of guys they take on, you know what I mean? This is what Vince McMahon is looking for, you know, and then you talk about, but I remember thinking all the time this happening when Rey Mysterio, because he's the guy. When I said, man, Rey Mysterio is making it right now, he was the guy that was giving me and some of those other guys, like, tons of hope. I mean, never mind Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels is 6'1". You know, I look to Rey Mysterio like, man, you know, Rey's doing this. He's kind of breaking the barriers a little bit here, to, you know what I mean, to make room for anybody.
Well,
and everyone's
bro. And you know, like, originally before this guy had told me about what you had said, Nick Fury or whatever the fuck his name is. And so right before that, some other motherfucker had written, I don't think Rey Mysterio should be a Hall of Famer, you know. And I was like, dude, you know everything that Rey had to go through in Mexico and the United States, all the cultural ignorance, he had to go through because of his size to make it where he is. And still, they had to give him the championship. Vince didn't want to. They had to give it to him because Ray had kind of like a CM Punk, Bryan Danielson backlash. Not so much in people chanting his name like they do his, but in like when he would show up to San Diego, the place would get packed. Every Latino place, not even Latino because everybody liked Ray.
Right.
He was moving the needle. Not too many people moved the needle in the ratings. He was moving the needle big time every time he showed up in SmackDown. He was selling a shit of his merchandise. They had to do something with him, and even though Vince didn't want to, he did. But just to show the other writers, and I've heard this from the writers themselves, just to show the other writers they were wrong, if you remember Rey Mysterio's tenure as champion, he lost like just about every match that he was in. They would even beat him in his hometown. I was like, really, dude? You know, it was really terrible the way they handled him. The only guy I've probably seen them handle worse was The Miz.
Oh, right. Yeah, the Miz, you didn't even see him at all. He went away quickly. But I mean, Ray, you're right about that, and they buried him. It's almost like they used it, but like,
They did.
I mean, he's moving the merchandise. Let's get him so the Latino part, so all these guys will pay attention. We'll make some money, and then we'll spit him out as soon as that's done, and then he can just, go along as a mid-card guy selling the merchandise.
They're just using him to sell masks. That sucks.
think-
They shouldn't just be using him to sell masks. He's a legitimate talent, and he's always been wasted every single time he's risen up.
Right.
Do you think
Look
that
at him.
because
Can you hear
Daniel
me?
Bryan is in the same?
Oh, yeah. What was that, Jaron? What do you got, Jaron? What are you asking?
I was gonna ask
Here's
because of the same situation that Daniel Bryan's and Rey Mysterio was in. Do you think that they'll ever give the title to Daniel Bryan?
Yeah, I think they'll give
Yes.
the title. Yeah. I think Conan thinks that. I think that too. And they already did twice for a second. And if you remember, there's a guy last week we had on, Brian Anderson. He's a guy who writes for Rant Sports, and he said something like WWE should suspend Daniel Bryan or something because he's actually angry at the fans because he thinks everybody should just sit back and enjoy what WWE does and enjoy the product. And this is what he writes every week on rantsports.com.
Who writes this?
This guy named Brian Anderson. You can go look him up. In one of my couple previous videos back, we got into a little fight. And he
Look, everybody has an opinion, you
Right.
know. And the bottom line is I really believe this. I believe WWE didn't want to push Bryan Danielson. The people have spoken. They know they have to push him, especially now that CM Punk isn't there. They know they have to push him. They're going to end up giving him the title, and then at the end they'll go, oh, this was the plan all along. It wasn't. They fucked up. They fumbled the ball with Bryan Danielson. And then all the WWE guys that think everybody, like, oh, you guys are marks. You should have let it play out. That's what they had in mind. That is not what they had in mind. So, they'll end up giving it to him because they have no choice, especially if Punk doesn't come back. And I'm just like you. I can't wait to see what goes down in Chicago.
Oh, yeah, man. I'm fired up for Chicago. I'm even fired up for the night after Elimination Chamber. But I'm really fired up for Chicago. That's going to be something else, man. When's the last time that you saw a crowd chuck shit into a ring at a WWE event?
One night stand.
One night stand? Oh, well, that was a couple, that was 5 years ago, right?
Yeah.
That was the one where that kid punched Randy Orton in the side of the arm. Taz wrestled Jerry Lawler to begin it, right?
Well, yeah, but the main thing was RVD versus John Cena.
Oh, yeah.
And
John
Cena's nuclear heat, yeah.
That Philly crowd was awesome. That was great.
And, of course, one of the best signs of all time, Cena wins, we riot.
Oh, yeah, That was great. Oh, I was pumped up.
That's tremendous. But, that's how they are, bro. That's what happens when you don't have no competition because TNA would still be number 2 even if there was no WWE. That fucking show really sucks. I used to work there.
Yeah, I remember you did commentary I feel like the last I remember. Or that was 05 maybe.
Dude, you should see now they have the owner, Dixie Carter, and some fucking jack-off called Potato Spuds or whatever his name is. And they're like the worst thing that's on TV since like Aces and Eights.
Ace and Aces was bad. Here's what I don't get though. See, WWE gets a pass a little bit because they're PG and they're doing what they can with PG. TNA doesn't necessarily have to be that PG, but yet they put out this shit product every week. They should be able to do more than WWE, you know what I mean, and do something. And instead, it's terrible. Why? Why can't they step up their game? Is my question. I don't understand.
Because the bitch that's running it don't know what the fuck she's doing. I was there, dude, for 5 years, huh?
It's like, it's almost like she got it so that she could eventually be on TV a bunch. You know what I mean?
I don't know. She doesn't know what she's doing. That's really it. It doesn't go any further than that,
Right.
And they
every time someone
they should have hired Paulie when they had the chance.
Yeah.
We talked about that on here. We wanted to see. We were like, what if Paulie took over that company? Because people said, what if he bought it? I said, well, no, he doesn't have to buy it. He just has to be on the show. He has to be hired.
We also said, what if him and Jim Cornette joined up and started running TNA?
Imagine Jim
Cornette.
Cornette.
Well, those are two brilliant minds. I don't know if somebody would end up stabbing the other, but those are two brilliant minds.
That's why it would be great, I think.
So it has a nice double suicide finish.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we might go down in flames, but
or they start rival promotions and start trying to outdo one another. That'd be another fun thing to watch.
That would be another fun thing. Let me throw another thing.
Right.
I just want to say this. Have you guys seen that show, True Detective?
Oh yeah, no, I have not seen it. I've heard of it. What's up with that?
Okay, There's another guy in the line, right? Right?
Yeah, that's Chris.
Has he?
I have not, no.
Dude, it's on HBO. Do you know what show I'm talking about?
Oh, I know what show you're talking about now. I've heard of that. Yeah, I can watch that.
I've seen a couple of episodes before.
Jaren's seen it.
Okay. Have you seen episode 4?
What's the episode about? I'm not really familiar with the numbers of the episodes.
Well, it's the one with where McConaughey and the fucking leader of the biker gang go into the black neighborhood.
Oh man, I gotta watch that.
I don't think I have seen that episode.
Okay, you haven't, or you'd remember. Dude, you guys check that out. If you really want to see great TV at its finest,
right,
check out the last 20 minutes of True Detective. It's even better if you check it from the beginning of the show so you can see the build-up.
Yeah.
Even better if you see the first 3 shows. But watch the last 20 minutes of it and tell me if that isn't riveting TV.
Right. So it's all real stuff, right? It's all like it's real life
It's very
shit.
realistic. It's very realistic.
Oh, I
It's
got
not
you.
real.
Okay.
It's very realistic.
Okay.
But, at the end of the day, it's great storylines and great acting. Same
Right.
thing for wrestling. All you need to do is great wrestling and great storylines, and all this other superficial bullshit, and wrestling would be the way we all love it. I always say on my podcast, wrestling is the only show that I watch that if it was this bad, I'd still be watching it. I only watch wrestling because I'm a wrestler and we're coming to the United States, and it behooves me to watch the competition and to watch some of my friends. But there's no other show that if it was this bad and it let me down as many times as wrestling has, I'd still be watching.
Right. That's a great point. Yeah, that's a good point, man.
But we're very loyal. We're very loyal, and all they do is shit on us,
Well,
but it's cool. We're coming to town in the summer.
Yep.
Check us out, and I think you're going to see a good alternative. I'm not saying people are going to stop watching WWE just to watch us, but they might watch us both, and they might even stop watching them. But we are going to bring something different. And I hope you get your shit squashed with this. I thought he was going to call your show.
I think he bitched out. I think he just wanted some attention. I think he got it, from everybody. I think that was his point.
Yeah.
That was it.
And I see you wearing your Boston Bruin thing.
Right.
Big Bruins, Celtics, Red Sox fan. Boom.
That's awesome. I remember you told me that on Twitter. I told somebody that. I was like, no, he can't. Really? He loves all those teams. I know you like the Dolphins.
Dude,
That's
any
our
team
only
you
thing.
want to talk about, I know. And I just want to say real quick, they need to give Poppy an extension.
Yep.
I've been watching the Red Sox since I was 6, dog. All right?
Right.
And we can throw any name you want in there. Jim Rice, Yastrzemski, Lynn, Fisk, all of them.
Right.
My favorite player of all time is now Big Poppy.
Oh yeah, mine as well. And you know what I hate was when around here they start talking about the radio guys out here have been talking about the last 4 years. Every year they start talking about how maybe it's just let him go, just let him go. He wants to demand all. That's bullshit. Pay this guy the fucking money. He's been here. He's been money.
Exactly.
He's been the face of the team. He's done
and
it.
I
He's
bet
clutch.
you Boston just loves him, right?
Oh yeah, everybody here absolutely loves him. So when you hear that shit on the radio, you're just like, what the fuck are they
give him
talking
his
about?
fucking extension, bro. What he did last year was incredible. And
he got to swear on TV too. That was awesome. And he got to swear on TV last year. That was awesome.
Yeah. And also, I think we all know that Danny Ainge is trying to get as many fucking draft choices as he can to make this fucking team awesome next year. There's no doubt about it that even if they're not tanking, he's making sure they don't have any good players, because once they got rid of Jordan Crawford and they sent them to the Clippers, I was like, okay, this shit's over.
I feel like they're hanging on to Rondo now. I didn't think they were going to do that, but I'm starting to think he's staying.
Well, that's who you build the team around.
Right.
You got to build it around Rondo, Avery Bradley, and Sullinger.
Right. I agree 100% with that, man. And the Bruins right now, they're rolling, so
Yeah,
what I mean?
they are first place in the Atlantic. Boom.
I think we're going to see Pittsburgh in the finals, basically. So we'll see what happens there. Hopefully Iggy gets his cup,
What?
Hopefully Iggy can get a cup finally.
Yeah, most definitely. All right, guys, I'll let some other motherfuckers get on here and chop it up with you guys, but just wanted to say what up one more time. You guys want to check out my podcast? It's MLW.com. There's a lot of free shows on there. I highly recommend the Christmas show. It's fucking crazy. The interviews with Chris Jericho and X-Pac, tremendous, with Samoa Joe, with Jim Cornette. Check it out. and tweet me at KONNAN5150. Be cool, you guys. Peace.
Hey, thanks, Conan, man.
Yeah,
Thanks for
man.
stopping by.
All right, man. No problem.
All right, later, man.
Peace.
All right, guys. Thanks to Conan for stopping by. He said he might, and he did. Look at that. He made up for that bitch who didn't call in to talk smack.
That bitch. I love it.
He just wanted to. That guy wanted to call up, and he didn't. Listen to Conan's podcast, though. It's awesome, man. I spent one night. I was almost up all night a few months back because I was listening to his damn podcast out of nowhere. I was like, yeah, let me check this out. And, man, good quality. One thing I meant to say to Conan when he was on, but I didn't. Maybe he'll hear this later. Whoever's producing it or whatever he did for his audio equipment is wonderful, man. That's some high-quality audio on his podcast. Sounds awesome. But his content is great as well. So that was really cool. Maybe we'll get Conan on some other time. We'll talk to Conan about his career because I know we have a lot of questions, but we had a lot of shit to talk about. Anyway,
I've never heard so many swears in my life.
Yeah, you thought you were worried about swearing. Fucking Conan dropping it. Well, how about this? Cunt, bitch, pussy, tits, leaky fucking vagina. How about that? There's some more for you. Benjamin Lambshit reporting for duty again, sir. Sorry I had to let you go earlier. I'm sorry. You were booked out of order. Conan took precedence over you, sir.
It's all right. Yeah, as I was saying before, the crowd was pretty awesome.
Right back to where he was. Like, as I was saying. Fuck Conan, man. As I was saying. Wait, what do you got?
Well, dude, it was awesome. Like, chanting shit. Like, I just like all high, but it doesn't matter. Because they were chanting, like, CM, holy shit. You know, they were just a good crowd tonight.
It was a great crowd tonight in Colorado. And I mean, you know what I mean? They're still a little fucked up after that Denver loss in the Super Bowl, so those people were ready to go. You know?
Doug Poulter, he's like, he's going to beat you like the Seattle beat Denver.
And then he said he was going to own Biggie Langston, which was a little bit racist, but okay.
Oh, by the way, can I speak about the other?
I think that Cesaro-Cena was really good, even though Cena won. I think it really makes Cesaro look good.
Oh, it looked great. I thought it looked great.
And you know, I honestly don't know, Joe, but no, I know realistically this can't happen.
Right.
Maybe it could. I don't know.
Okay.
But I don't know. Maybe at the Elimination Chamber they could have like two guys down, you know, at a 10 count, and then they both lose. So then they decide that one has to have one belt and another has to have the other belt.
Oh God, no! Please, that's
Then they would have like a triple
no.
threat.
That's
they've already unified the belts, so right now that means at least for 4 years, I think they cannot separate those.
I hope they don't. I think it's done. Please be done. One belt. That's all.
What they need to do is take away one of those title belts.
Well, I think they're going to, like we said, either at WrestleMania or the night after on Raw, there'll be a new title or something like that unveiled. And I think that's what we're all hoping for. That's what we've all wanted, and that's what we think is going to happen. So, you know,
I'd like to see.
Tonight's Raw was kind of dead. If you notice the crowd.
Sometimes they were, but a lot of times they were all right, I thought.
If I can, I just want to point out a couple more flaws that happened in Raw tonight. When we went back on the air and the New Age Outlaws were going to be in a match, did you guys notice that Road Dogg's mic wasn't working for the first couple seconds?
Yeah. You know what? You know something I noticed about you? Is your favorite thing in the world to talk about is when there are technical gaffes on the Raw show.
That's because it's fucking hilarious
I
to
know.
make them look like... Did you see when Bray Wyatt was like... yelling at Miguel or whatever kicked the camera?
Yeah.
Man, Conan is a busy bastard. I looked up all his stuff. He's busy as shit. Somebody said, what else does he have to do? It might have been Chris, actually.
I was just kidding because I knew he was going to call in, so I wanted to downplay it.
I was fucking with him. But no, he's got a lot to do, man. Conan has a lot of shit going on the podcast. You know what I mean? The wrestling shit coming here. You know what I mean? He's just doing a ton of stuff. There's a ton of shit I would like to ask him at some point, and maybe I'll do that on Twitter and shit. Maybe I know I'm going to be getting into the ring at some point. with, I don't know if it's going to be with the local promotion here or somewhere else. We're going to be doing this kind of promotion with my YouTube and their wrestling show and all that shit. So I don't know if we're going to do that. And I'm going to get pumped up. I'm going to fucking start working out, looking crazy. And maybe I'll, maybe I'll get there. Well, maybe Conan can judge my match or something. I'll send Conan a copy of the footage, and he can give me kind of thing or something. I don't know. We'll do something, and then we'll promote his show or whatever. Because I think it's worth it. There's, yeah. I'll throw it to Conan, but I
a legend. I'm so glad.
Oh yeah, that was great to hear from him and squash that other bitch. She was talking crazy shit. Who didn't show up, by the way. I'd like that.
Oh yeah, Jaron. Before we go, sorry, not Jaron, but possibly before we go on, I know that you're not a huge wrestling right now, but I'm a huge fan of.
Oh, dude. Oh, but look, real quick, Jeff Hardy.
Will's just his answer to the Wyatts.
But you know what? You know what though? That was the best thing I've seen. That's better than the although I will say this. The Wyatts is more thought built up, where Jeff Hardy is outright from the beginning crazy. Um, but
Is just the Wyatts mixed Ambrose.
yes, but I loved it, man. That was some weird shit. Amos and Cesaro left after their moves. Ambrose got back up with John Cena and Bryan in the ring. And left the ring fans chanting yes for Brian. I'm calling it the fucking F you. Calling it the fuck you. I'm not calling it the attitude adjustment. Fuck that.
Although, am I the only one that wants to see John Cena get hit with a Superman punch?
Oh, yeah. I'd like to see him get hit in the crotch with a Superman punch at this point. I'm just so sick of it. But
Joe, you do realize to even find those, you got to either look in Vince McMahon or Nikki Bella's.
Got that. Took me a second. I'm so sick, guys. If you don't know, I'm real sick and shit. But real quick, before we get to Jeremy, I know you say something. I thought that Willow was awesome. It was creepy. It's weird. It actually made me interested for the first time. And this is the stuff that we just talked about when Conan was on, with them making shit a little bit more interesting. Now, listen. There, you can say that weird shit, the Willow stuff doesn't work. Talked about Conan about realistic stuff in wrestling and being real and stuff like that, but the paranormal and the weird and the crazy shit actually works too. I mean, if you look at Raven, look at the Undertaker during the WWE Attitude Era with the Ministry. They were doing a lot of other real storyline stuff, and the Ministry Undertaker stuff worked anyway.
Run.
You know, I have no idea. Maybe he'll attack someone. Maybe he'll do a Vampiro type of thing. I don't know. Maybe he'll just be outright. You know, it would work if he just came out outright strange and people were like looking at him in the ring, like, who's this guy gonna wrestle?
What if he came back teaming with Abyss?
Nah, I don't think. I think that takes away from his stuff. What if he came back and fucked with Dixie Carter? That'd be weird. But then again,
a Willow sellout. Never thought about that.
But as Conan said, Dixie don't know what she's doing. I mean, you don't have to say that. I mean, you can literally, like you said, you can just watch the product. Someone don't know what they're doing. Someone doesn't know what they're doing. Maybe Jeff Jarrett's new thing with Toby Keith will start competing with it. You have a lot of these third-party entities.
Listen to what you just said. How'd you say that with a straight face?
I was wondering if anybody would pick up on it. I guess you did.
I heard you, and you're talking to a Tennessee boy.
Well, I'm just saying, Jeff Jarrett, Toby Keith, they're going to start something here. What's going to happen? You got Conan's promotions coming up. You got ROH. You got a lot of these third, party.
Amazing. Well, are amazing. The first one.
Yeah. You're right, but you know what I mean. They're all vying for that third place, and I think somebody can compete with TNA here. Immediately can compete with, get some kind of deal on TV. That big thing is getting a deal on TV. That's where
you and the Bear could compete TNA if you got a deal on TV.
Yeah, you're right about that. Why isn't TNA signing?
Go ahead, Jaron.
No, that was that. Did you see that video I posted yesterday?
I did.
Yeah.
and after I realized 100% you are a virgin.
Oh, well, first of all, yes. So anyway, did we talk about that video that I sent you the link to, Joe?
Oh yeah, so somebody, the guy copying me or whatever, I uploaded my shit. Oh yeah. I that. So it's all good.
You guys,
Sexual.
That screwed up.
Yeah, it was weird. I flagged him and copyright claimed it. So it's all good.
Yeah, then again, how useful is YouTube right now?
Yeah, I don't really care. Fuck it. Even if they doesn't get claimed, I don't give a shit. know you make people are posting your videos. And for you, Nick Foley, if you want to go ahead and come up to Boston and step in the ring with a real wrestler, Nick, sitting behind your little computer, writing your crap on your fucking keyboard like a bitch. La-di-da-di-da, he's a racist. I'll get racial all over your fucking face, brother. Come up to Boston.
Which Mick Foley are you going to fight?
I'm going to fight Nick Foley. I'm going to fight Nick Foley. You come up here, man. We'll start talking. We'll get man-to-man outside in South Boston. We'll sit down. We'll have a couple of drinks. And we'll talk it out before the fight like we should. You say what you got to say about me. I'll say what I got to say about you. You sip the Captain Morgan's. I'll sip the Captain Morgan's. You turn your head to go take a piss. When you're gone, I drop something in your drink, bitch. You come back, you finish off that drink. We go out to the parking lot, get ready to square off. But what happens to you? You get a little fuzzy. You get a little strange. And wham! You hit the ground like a sack of bricks. And while you're on the ground passed out, I take my pants off and I give you one of the greatest Yokozunas in your face of all time. And the back of your head smells like the bottom of my toilet, my friend. Bring it on.
I get the name
Nick
of your
Foley.
pharmacist.
I don't have a pharmacist. That's the problem. That's the problem, dude. I don't have a pharmacist. I can't believe I'm saying all this stuff. I lost my voice today. I wasn't able to work. I sound crazy.
I was watching the John Cena versus, well, now his Cesaro match. So my grandmother was like,
Right.
Jaron, who's that? I was like, oh, it's John Cena. She's like, who's John Cena? So I gave her like a bunch of like false
Even your
facts.
grandmother's smart enough not to pay attention to John Cena.
Aha,
Wow.
you're quick with them today, you bastard. So I gave her like a bunch of false information. It was supposed to be jokes, but she didn't pick up on them. I said, oh, yeah, you don't know John Cena? He licks first, ask questions later. He's in a female cover band called Puss.
Oh, man.
So she didn't pick up on any of that. And
Well, I'm
I have
glad.
a very boring life.
You Jesus Christ. It was no more boring than mine was at your age, I'll tell you that. But of course, you're our interracial, underage, you know what I mean, viewpoint of the show. So there you go.
Well, maybe
The other three of us are all over 20 and white.
Once
Right.
I get into college, probably I'll be a little more crazy on the show. I promise.
Oh, I bet you will. We'll get you on that. We'll get you on that bottle, man. We'll get you all messed up. But guys, thanks for watching. It's youtube.com/Joe Cronin Show. You can go to joecronin.com and you can go vote for your best wrestler, your favorite superstar. I want to know what everybody writes in. I'm gonna go check it out right now. I'll tell you what the polls are here. See what's up with this. Let's see. Here we go. For my fucking.
Yeah, so is AJ Lee gonna get
Hey,
punished
what's
for
going on?
CM
And
Punk's
welcome
BS?
to
Well, did you see her tonight?
JoeCroninShow.com. Guys, I'm glad you are here. If you would like to advertise. This is what
advertise-
plays when you go on my website. What did you say about
I hate
AJ Lee?
it.
All right, AJ Lee. All right, here's what's going on. AJ Lee had a concussion, first of all. They're giving her some time off.
Wait, you have to sing a song for her like you did with Daniel Bryan.
I can't with my voice right now, though, man.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
Let the guy be on this one. He's already done a few great rants.
Here he goes. He's warming up.
Wait a minute. Wait, who else did I sing a song for?
Daniel Bryan had a concussion.
Oh, that's right. AJ got concussed. She got concussed, and that's why CM Punk picked her up at the airport because she fucking got concussed. AJ Lee got concussed. That's it. I don't think that was as good. But that's
Wait,
what
there has to be a song for every concussion. That's,
all right, everybody gets a concussion. Then I owe Dolph Ziggler 3 at that point then. So, but anyway, moving on to other things. First of all, oh man, what the hell was I going to say? So the main event tonight, Randy Orton's match wasn't that great. But at least that John Cena and Cesaro stuck out at me. I love the play between the Shield right now, like the shit they're talking back and forth to each other. I've gotten a great kick out of that.
It's just leading towards a Shield breakup at WrestleMania. I think you can just
Oh, yeah.
see it coming.
Oh yeah, or
It's gonna be
before.
epic.
Or
But who do
before.
you think's going to walk away the winner of that breakup?
I actually enjoyed the Ron Simmons package too. That was cool.
You enjoyed Ron Simmons' package.
I was pumped up by his package. You know,
Smooth, man.
those packages are big over there. Those black packages. But no, I was pumped up, man. That was cool to see all that stuff. Him winning the world title, the WCW title, or whatever you want to call it. It was really cool. Now they're talking about CM Punk's release is going to be granted. I mean, all signs point to that happening. You know, CM Punk, going away. You know, I do got to say one thing, too, by the way, to that dickhead Nick, that dude on Twitter. The one thing all he did was get us to have a great spot with Conan on the show tonight. So that was awesome. It's kind of funny.
You.
Yeah, thanks, Nick. Maybe we should thank him. I don't know. But I'm going to be getting a few other guys on the show, but I actually emailed them out. Somebody I've been talking to, trying to get on, we just can't seem to hook up, is Kevin Kelly. You remember he used to work for WWE, now he's with ROH. I was emailing him the other day. I want to get Kevin Kelly on here, man. I want to know what went down that night with Brian Pillman and Stone Cold. And what I remember being a kid.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I know who you're talking about.
I remember being a kid and watching that because wrestling had just started to take that, WWE at least, started to take that swing. And at the time, I wasn't watching ECW yet. I didn't know about ECW until, after the Brian Pillman Stone Cold thing. I think I started watching it right after that. So WWE started stealing from that a little bit. And, man, I'll never forget when Stone Cold showed up to Brian's house with the gun. That was some crazy shit on TV. That was some good stuff. Kevin Kelly was there. So you're so used to seeing Kevin Kelly, this goofy announcing guy, in these weird situations, but instead you get him in this like very freaky. The only thing I never liked that night was the snow. When the camera went off the air and that snow came up and it looked really fake.
Yeah.
I think if they had just had like a bar of black and then the color thing shooting, the tracking being off, you know what I mean? That kind of thing, it would have looked real. That's my only critique. That's all. Can I be a little critical?
No, fuck you.
It's a free country.
But the look on Pillman's face when he had that gun.
As long as you're not agreeing with whatever the hell John Cena says.
I usually don't. Anyway, let's.
Smart man.
Well, I'm somewhat smart.
That match though
So
was
spiteful.
with Cesaro was really good though tonight until that DDT. That DDT was actually supposed to be really good and then he fucked it up.
Oh, at the end, the last thing.
Yeah, like it looked like it was gonna be really good and then it turned out to be garbage.
Well, I don't know. All I know is that was the thing that stuck out to me tonight as the best match. I don't remember much else of Raw. I mean, I would give Raw tonight. Man, I'm close on this one. I mean, I don't hate Raw tonight, but going into the pay-per-view, I mean, I think they did what they could and whatever. So I don't know. I give it a 7.0 tonight. Another middle of the road, whatever. I mean, maybe a 6.5. I'm gonna give it a 6.5 tonight. What do you guys think?
Straight six.
Straight 6.
So if once I get my rating, do you think that telling them what I told you in my text earlier about the match booking for March, that would be too much of a spoiler?
No, I don't think so. I think you're right. I think we all pretty much think that Randy Orton is going to win at Elimination Chamber. I don't think that it's a lock.
Well,
but
so let me say, because you were also pointing out how John Cena was going to face Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. So for those of you who don't live in New York, tonight on Raw, they posted, or that they didn't post, they showed a commercial for March 6th. By the way, I'm going to Extreme Rules, so I'll be live after that
nice.
with you guys. So whatchamacallit? What the hell was I saying? Oh, yeah, for March 6th, which is obviously after the Elimination Chamber, they have a live show with the main event being John Cena and Batista versus Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. The feud obviously has to be Batista and Randy Orton and John Cena and Bray Wyatt.
Right.
It can't be reversed. So that's usually what they do when they go into rivalries for WrestleMania. I remember No Way Out 2007.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up, Joe.
No, I'm guessing you for real. I wasn't saying anything. I don't have the voice to fuck around, man. No, but you're right. I think that's what's going to happen. You're going to see Randy. That's what we've been talking about for all this time. Hey, I thought it was going to be Randy Orton versus Batista months ago at WrestleMania anyway. The only thing I didn't know was that it was going to be for the damn title. And I'll tell you what, if that match goes down as the title match, oh, man.
The
You guys
WrestleMania
make me
match,
seem so bored.
the best match at WrestleMania this year is going to be Lesnar and
If
Wait a minute, what? Who, an Undertaker?
Lesnar.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, this is all stuff that we pretty much knew going back. So, but the thing is, I am very disappointed if it's Randy Orton versus Batista at WrestleMania. I mean, I understand and I get it. And you know what I mean? These guys would be a solid match together, I think. Maybe like the third or fifth match of the night. Kind of like...
For me, it's just the match.
It's been done. I don't want to see it. Now it's for the title. You're taking away. The fans clearly want to see new guys in the spotlight now. They're going for Reigns. Conan when he was on. I said it. You said it. We've all said it. It should be fucking CM Punk and Daniel Bryan versus each other, or Daniel Bryan versus Reigns, or some shit like that at WrestleMania. Daniel Bryan even versus CENA again. I don't know, something. But
I'll admit that match was pretty good back at SummerSlam.
It was.
That was a damn good match.
It was in second place at SummerSlam to what was it? CM Punk Lesnar? Was that the one that was the really good match?
And it'll be better now that Cena's not injured.
Right. So I don't know why they couldn't do that. As a, hey, remember what happened to Cena? And they show the clip of him getting kneed in the head and he was injured. And then Bryan got screwed. And now you're getting these two guys in the spotlight again for their rematch like it's supposed to happen for the title. But we're not going to get that, are we? Because WWE doesn't know what their fans want. They're disconnected. They do know what they want. They just don't give a shit. It seems like they're disconnected. Guys like Bryan Anderson are on the opposite side of the spectrum. Guys like Conan on the other side. And I mean, I'm trying to be somewhere in the middle, but it's hard for me. I'm really further towards with you guys, which is, you know what I mean? It's time for the fans want new faces. Look what happens in NXT when people get popular and they want to see them, you know what I mean? And the internet fans and everybody. They want to see this stuff in WWE now. They want to see that shit. You know what I should have asked fucking Conan about earlier too, by the way, when he was on here, was what did he think about Ray? You know what I mean? Did Ray know that he was going to get fucking booed when he came out at the Royal Rumble because people were so pissed? That's how pissed off people were at the Rumble. They were so mad at the Rumble, they booed Rey Mysterio. That's how mad they were.
Do you think if Rey Mysterio wasn't booked the way he's booked now, would he get cheered at the Royal Rumble?
Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? I here's the thing. Is safely, you know what I mean? Safely go out there, fucking here, do your merchandise, and you don't do this move. You do your signature moves and get out of there.
Someone's microphone is taking a shit right now. What the hell?
I hear that too, but I will tell you that
it's not me, is it?
Maybe, I don't know. We're having a lot of audio things, but no. So I mean, here's the thing: if Ray gets healthy and stuff and everything, you know, you'd think he'd get a push. And you know, I don't know. I mean, why can't at some point a good match would be Daniel Bryan versus Rey Mysterio? But we're not even getting to that point right now because Ray's just selling T-shirts and just doing the same old shit. You know what I mean? But it's not his fault. It's the WWE booking him that way. And that's what it is. That's what they do with tons of people. So the people are bored with Ray. This is the same way that people cheer for, you know, say, what was his, Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder was being cheered for by the fans, and they buried him. And so the fans kind of went, oh, they're never going to close to pushing him. Oh, well. And same with Ray now. The fans kind of know what his deal is, so they just said, whatever. Ray's there losing matches to put over other superstars, which is okay. So the fans pick up on that, so they're not rising up, you know what I mean, to flip out to cheer for him. But they do understand that, you know, Daniel Bryan was getting a slight push because WWE see how the fans react to the Sheamus incident and to him getting fired. So the WWE was like, well, we'll put him in some kind of place where he can succeed. And all it did was make the fans even more ravenous. And now they're like, oh, shit, we've created a monster with this shit. You know, because now they're really fucking pushing him. So how mad are they? Let's take a phone call because I'm losing my voice. I'm sick as shit. So let's take a phone call from the Don, baby. Long-time listener. What's up, the Don?
What up? How you doing?
I'm sick as hell. I don't feel very good, and I'm losing my voice. But I'm glad we had a good show. I'm glad Conan was on so we could take some of the shit, you know, and talk.
Yeah, I was listening. He's really good.
His show's good, man. You gotta check out his podcast too. It's really good. It's fucking. I'm gonna link it once I get it. But what's up, man?
I got a question. Do you think Chris Benoit's gonna be in the WWE network?
He is going to be in the network. They've already confirmed that. All his matches, everything, Chris Benoit, it will be in the network regardless of what happened and whatever. He fucking wrestled in the WWE. He was a wrestler. His matches will be here. That's it.
Do you think they're gonna mention him on WWE television or no? They're just gonna leave.
They might stay away from his name on television, but he'll be in the network. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 'cause I was over the weekend. I was watching his matches and all that stuff. I was like, wow. I saw his WrestleMania match and Eddie Guerrero came out. You know.
Yeah, man. Think about all the other people that it would affect too. When Chris Benoit matches weren't there, if they weren't there, you wouldn't get the Eddie Guerrero matches. You wouldn't get the Rey Mysterio, Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko, any of those guys, and all the matches they had are screwed because they don't want to put Chris Benoit there. But no, he will be on the network. That's it. I think they are making some minor edits to the Owen Hart stuff from Over the Edge, but that's about it. I mean, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, Joe, I got another question for you.
Yo.
You said you wrestled before, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Would you ever wrestle again?
Yes.
Like professionally?
Yeah, no, I would. Locally, I have the chance to because I know some of the guys. I was in wrestling school with Kofi Kingston, actually.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. One night, in fact, I didn't even know that he got signed, and I was sitting here watching Raw one night, and bam, Kofi comes on the TV on Raw, and I was like, whoa, holy shit, dude. Oh, my God, I used to call him Cocoa Puffs.
Cocoa Puffs?
We called him Coco. Yeah, we called him fucking Coco, and I was like, oh, shit, Coco's on TV. What is this,
You don't find that a little racist?
Yeah, look out. I mean, I might get some emails now, but he called me Cracker, so no, he's a real nice guy. He is exactly what you think, basically.
You should try to get him on the show.
I probably could. I probably could get him, actually.
Kofi Kingston is a very good United States champion and Intercontinental champion.
Kofi's another one.
When he was in a Royal Rumble, when he was in a Royal Rumble match, he was just amazing.
He's another one who's, stuck, in his spot, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like Ray.
Yeah.
In fact, you could have how about Kofi Kingston versus Ray? There's a match right there. I should have asked.
Kofi Kingston versus Dolph Ziggler.
Or Dolph Ziggler. How about, I don't know why I cracked up tonight when Del Rio was in the neck brace. I thought that was kind of funny. What's up with Randy? why do Randy Orton and Batista seem to like to wear the same fucking clothes? The same colored T-shirt.
That's just weird. They probably just call each other like, oh, what are you wearing tonight? Oh, I'm wearing the same thing. Okay.
Yeah,
High
man.
five.
I bought this shit at Kmart, man. Let's go get another one. Oh, man, my voice is so messed up. I got to go to the doctor tomorrow. But anyway, what'd you think of Raw tonight?
I was pretty much bored of it. The only match I liked was Antonio Cesaro versus John Cena.
Yeah.
The other matches bored me. Yeah. Even the Randy Orton match, even though I'm a big Randy Orton fan,
right?
I didn't really care. I didn't really care for it.
It wasn't that good.
Yeah.
Sheamus didn't help.
Yeah, Sheamus.
Nothing interests me except for the John Cena and Antonio Cesaro match. Nothing really interested me, so I'll probably give it a 4.
This I believe a 4. Yeah, wow. This is the last.
Yeah.
This is the last This is the last pay-per-view, right? The real last solo pay-per-view before the network is launched. I thought
because Joe, like I grew up like I was born in '94, so I grew kind of around the Attitude Era. Like the first match I ever saw was The Undertaker versus Mankind in a Hell in a Cell. That was the first match I ever saw in my life.
Right.
And then I continue. I know you probably stopped watching wrestling. You said you stopped. Like you stopped for a little bit, and then you came back to it, right?
Yeah, I started watching wrestling in 1987, and I stopped watching wrestling around just probably I don't know what year, but the WrestleMania before Shawn Michaels and Kurt Angle had their WrestleMania match that year. Around that time, and then after that for a while. However, I did tune in a lot because I would want to watch Shawn Michaels. I would literally tune in. I wouldn't know what's going on, but I'd watch just Shawn Michaels. Around the CENA and all that stuff time, I tuned out of that. I was like, I don't know why people like him. I'm not
like I watched all. I kept watching. I've been watching all these years, and I still watch it today. And as I look at it now, I'm like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
What are they doing? Why are they not pushing the young superstars like they did to the other guys in the past? Like Daniel, especially with Daniel Bryan, like he's getting so much of a pop. They did it with Austin before. Like when Shawn Michaels had the title and Austin was getting so much pop, they took off the belt off of Michaels and gave it to Austin because people wanted Austin as a champion. Why they can't do that to Daniel Bryan?
Yeah, you're right. I know, but I think the thing is, we all feel that no matter what they do, they screwed him at Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I even Stone Cold's podcast, and he had Daniel Bryan on this podcast, and Daniel Bryan would just talk his wrestling career. He's a funny guy. He's an excellent wrestler.
Daniel Bryan did what I wanted to do, which was and when I was in high school was I'm gonna go find Shawn Michaels' wrestling school, and I'm gonna get trained by Shawn Michaels. I'm gonna fly to fucking Texas.
He actually talked about like before he didn't
he's got the same sort of style that a little bit I would sort of have.
The movie Desperado, that was my favorite.
Oh yeah, well that's the one with the guy Machete or Danny Trejo.
No, that was Antonio Banderas.
No, Antonio Banderas is in the movie, but Danny Trejo is the knife dude.
Oh yeah, he was in it.
Fucking awesome. I loved that fucking movie, man. Quentin Tarantino, fucking Rodriguez. These guys' movies, they can make movies together for the end of time I'd go and see them. I'm pumped. I'm going to go watch that tonight when I go to bed. If I can get to bed with my throat, I'm getting a temperature. I might have to go to the doctor's. This sucks. But I'm glad we're here talking about Raw. Guys, click the like button. Stick the thumb up my ass. It's youtube.com/Joe Cronin Show. We'll be able to go live from soon. Tweet my Twitter at Joe Cronin Show on Twitter. And I think we're getting close to wrapping it up. But the Don, thanks for stopping by, man. Salute you. And Benjamin Lamshit, wherever you are, I salute you, brother. Here we go. Elimination Chamber. Sunday night. At pay-per-view. We'll be live here with you guys.
Do you want to make predictions?
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to make a video about that. But I'll ones out about some of the things right now. I'm going to say, first of all, that the Shield breaks up. Hey,
I don't know.
We're going to take off, but I assume in a minute, so we'll just keep trying to get along with it. Thanks for the update. I know I noticed it myself actually, but something is up with YouTube and you. He's still on there. We dropped some frames. I don't know. Yeah, right. Yeah. How about Kane? How about Brian? And Kane comes through the ring or something.
God, what if like yeah, that's what I would thought. But like, what if
with his mask
in the face? What if eliminated Brian first?
That would, yeah, that would the match insanity. You would get shit. They'd at least the cage, so they would have a great idea. I'd like to see that. That might get people will fucking flip out.
Year before the match by Kane, they have to put someone else in like Brock Lesnar.
Right. I guess probably having problems on the use streams. So guys, we're gonna say thanks. Subscribe to the channel. Go to youtube.com/subscribe. I will we'll be making this week and we'll be live Friday, Sunday after Elimination Chamber, assuming I don't lose my voice. Thank you, Chris, for being here, and thanks to Jaron for Conan, the one and only.
I used to play as him in WCW Revenge.
Right. So that was cool, man. It was good to hear from him tonight. Fuck that guy. Eat donkey shit, dude. If you want me in this shit, I will drop you like a sack of potatoes, my friend. And throughout the week, and we'll see you Raw. See you after Raw. See you after Elimination Chamber. They're gonna launch, and I'm getting pumped up. I hope you guys are too. Click the phone with my ass there, and all his other about his shit that he's doing with this, and everything basically.